Alright, I'm back with another Aniioki update. So this is what I did. I went to the hardware store. I got that bolt like in the last video, like I said I would. I put it on here and it's pretty sturdy. I pushed the pin out because I didn't want to cut it off or anything in case I ever use that clamp. I might just crazy glue it together, but this seems like a better option right now. It's pretty sturdy. And then the brake is good. I had to adjust all this. I had to put, I want this controller here because it is for safety that I have access to it right away while I'm driving. Um, and then the brake I put it here, and then the mirror I put it in as far as I could. And on this side, I figured out what was wrong with this brake. Um, I thought it wasn't holding pressure. Now it is. All it was this bolt right here. And when I had looked at it originally, I couldn't find an adjustment bolt for it. Of course, I was looking out here. I was like looking for some sort of adjustment, but I noticed that this bolt was all the way out and it was almost falling off. It was hanging on by a thread, literally. So I ended up pushing it back in, and as I pushed it in, it pushed the lever back out, and now I can hold pressure on my brake, and I'm a happy camper. So, yep. I still think Aniioki's, I still think they suck, but it's doable now. Now it's actually rideable and it's safe, and I feel comfortable riding it once again. So, this is just for anybody thinking about getting an Aniioki. This is a recap of everything I've done to it. So when I first got the bike, the power kept cutting off, and I know I wasn't the only one because they had a email sent out that they were going to send out batteries, and they sent it out to like 30 people who had pre-ordered the bike, and I guess everybody was experiencing the same thing, that the power kept cutting off. Aniioki originally thought that it was a BMS, the battery management system, which is integrated in part of the battery. So they sent us all batteries, and the problem continued. I started doing some troubleshooting. I'm electrical tech excuse me, I'm electrical tech by trade, right? So I found out that the display had a short inside. It kept shorting out. Once that restarts, it restarts the whole entire bike. You gotta, you know, start it up all over again every single time when you hit a speed bump. So they ended up sending me a new display. There was something wrong with the front brake. They had sent me a new front brake as well. What else happened? The charging, yeah, it wasn't fully charging the battery, the charger. So again, I got my meter and I tested the charger. I tested the battery. The battery was charging up to I think it was 56 volts, which is 100% for a 48 volt system. And I have a video on that as well. And then I tested the charger, and the output on that was only 56 volts, which is a 48 volt charger, even though it was stamped as a 52 volt charger. So once I did that, I reached out to Aniioki, and they sent me a new charger that charges up to 52 volts. Although they didn't want me to charge it to 52 volts, they said that it would deteriorate the battery faster. And my whole thing is like, whoa, this is the 52 volt bike. This is what you marketed. You wanted to sell a 52 volt bike, then you need to, sell that. So I feel like they had intentionally set it up as a 48 volt charge bike to preserve the battery cells, I imagine. And once I exposed them for that, they gave me the right stuff, and it's a completely different charger as well. It doesn't even look the same. What else? I know there was something else. So there's so much stuff wrong with it, and I haven't had an entire week where I've been able to ride it and just enjoy it. And I love riding bikes, man. I love riding bikes, as you can see. But I don't think the average person, the average customer, would have known what to do with this Aniioki bike had they had all the problems that I had. Like I said, I have a drill and oh yes, I remember now. The planetary gears. They're up there on that corner there. The planetary gears I had to swap out on the rear motor because they were grinding. They were bad. And that wasn't an easy task for somebody. They offered me $200 to get my bike repaired if I took down all the negative videos that I posted on them. I don't feel they're negative. I feel like they're just honest. Honest videos. People should know what they're getting into. This is an expensive bike, and I'm fortunate enough to make, good money where I could buy a bunch of toys, you know. But a regular person who lives on a budget or whatever, this is a big expense, $3,000, and for Aniioki to just dish out these bikes that are super low quality is just not fair to the customer. They should be held to a higher standard, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Is that they're not they're putting out false images out there, false reviews. All the YouTube people who've been reviewing these bikes, they have something in it, They they get these bikes, they borrow them from Aniioki as long as they give good reviews, and they get to grow their channel because they get to review more bikes, and that's a biased review. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be biased. I'm trying to be honest. I love the bike, how it looks. I love the way, the angles, everything. It feels like you're riding a motorcycle. So, and I miss riding a motorcycle. I had a motorcycle accident, and I don't ride anymore, but this is as close as it gets now. I will say this, it's a very dangerous bike. Whenever you hit the throttle, it latches on for an extra 2 to 3 seconds. So it will not let go of the throttle. Once you let go of it, it's still, you feel it pulling you, and it takes about 3 seconds to unlatch. And that's in the internal programming of the controller. I don't have access to that, so I can't change that. I wish that it would drop out immediately, but that's just me. It's just, especially when this had broken off, I needed it to drop off right away. And the scenario that I could give you guys is that I was in a parking lot and I had this on power level 3, which goes up to about 30 miles an hour or so. And the throttle doesn't really regulate that well. It's kind of like on and off. So I hit the throttle. I'm just trying to creep, by. I hit the throttle and it latched on for too long. And, I'm trying to brake and also change this to a lower power setting so I don't take off as high, if that makes sense. And so I had to make sure this was secure so I could just turn down the power on the fly. Sorry about that little rant, but I don't think it was that coherent, but it is what it is. I'm not going to do another video. It's a one take type of deal. But I hope you guys enjoy it, and give it a like. If you want to see more content on this Aniioki, hopefully I worked out all the bugs. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm more than willing to provide answers. I don't get on YouTube as often, so it might take a while to get an answer from me. So just be patient, okay? Have a good one.